you are here with me today. Whether you are joining us from US, Europe, Mexico, South America, Southeast Asia, or anywhere else around the world, I'm so happy you are here with me today. Thank you for tuning in. This channel is dedicated to sharing you the spiritual wisdom and human warmth found in the words of Chinese writer Xuemo. So no matter where you are joining from, I hope you can feel a sense of peace, inspiration, and connection in this little corner of internet. Mr. Xuemo is one of the most prolific and inspiring authors from Western China, and his story rich Eastern wisdom and universal human emotions, and offering readers around the world deep insight and timeless inspiration. So if you love meaningful story, profound thoughts, and beautifully written books, you're absolutely in the right place. Reading is not only about getting knowledge, it's a way to nourish the soul, to remember who we are, and to discover peace and clarity. So don't just scroll past, my friend. Hit the follow button and subscribe our channel and stay with us. We go live different times every day, bringing you fun story, inspiring talks, and good vibes. This is a space full of warmth, positivity, and love. So make yourself at home right here and give us a like and drop a comment below if you have any questions. Let's spend a wonderful time together right here. So today I'm going to show you a book, a touching story written by Chinese author Xuemo, okay? And the book title as Eternal Love. So when you saw the title, you thought that you thought about that is the romantic loves, but no, that is about a spiritual journey through illness, letters, and redemptions. So let's talk about when we dive before we dive into the words of eternal love. So let's talk about Mr. Xuemo. Mr. Xuemo's novel. Mr. Xuemo is a writer in China, from Western China, and Mr. Xuemo has written more than 80 titles with over 300 editions and translated into more than 20 languages. Yeah. So Mr. Sherman's novel Into the Desert won the New York City Big Book Award 2024 for female fiction and the Independent Press Award 2024 for literature fiction. And his novel Causes of Xixia Kingdom won the New York City Big Book Award 2024 for world literature. The novel White Fox Ridge won the 2024 International Impact Book Award and the 2025 International Book Award and the 2025 New York City Big Book Award. Mr. Xuemo has been nominated 3 times for the Modern Literature Prize, and he has won the Dunhuang Literature and Art Award 6 consecutive times. Yeah, in the years of 2020, Mrs. Sherman topped the international media spotlight list at the Frankfurt Book Fair, enjoying more attention than the Gaps of Honor span. This achievement was hailed as one of the most remarkable and memorable events at the Frankfurt Book Fair 2022. The e-book editions of The Desert Rise, Desert Hunter, White Tiger Pass, and Love Letters from the Goddess have repeatedly ranked #1 on Amazon bestseller list. So this book, okay, Eternal Love, this is the English edition, and this is the Chinese editions right here. So this book, a testament to faith, hope, and redemption. Eternal Love is the first born of the redemption challenges. It is a deep, moving novel about end of life, companionship through 34 exchanged letters. It recreates the heartfelt dialogue between a tongue cancer patient, Yato, and her mentor, Xue, in the form of letter and diary. Xuemo Yato, the main character Yato, she confided in him, revealing her struggle a moment of awakening as she faced the greatest challenges of her life. Under Guru Xue's compassionate care and spiritual guardian, Yato courageously confront her illness, refused to surrender to fear and despair, and ultimately find self-redemption. Some critic has drawn parallels between Mr. Xuemo's eternal love and Irish Walker's masterpiece, The Color Purple, noting their sheer aspiration of fundamental themes such as life, death, and spiritual redemptions. Hi, viewer, welcome to our live stream. Welcome. This is Louis from Western China. Let's start with a story that stayed with me for years. A story about a woman. We will call her Yato, yeah, which means girls or daughters in Chinese. The name that carry warmth, familiarity, just as she did. She was 28 years old. Yato was 28 years old. Yeah. When life threw her the coolest cover, a terminal illness. Before that, before that, before that, Yato was an outstanding media director. Yeah. Outstanding media director. Sharp, driven. Okay, just wait a minute. Okay, my friend, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe our channel. Yeah. This is Louis from Western China. Yeah. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe our channel, okay? So let's continue part about the book, okay? Yato was 28 years old. Yeah, when life threw her the coolest cover, a terminal illness. Before that, she was an outstanding media director, sharp, driven at the peak of her career. She was just as like any accomplished professional you might know, rushing between the meetings, defining the campaigns, and chasing the next big achievement. There was nothing out of the ordinary about her until illness turned her world upside down. What happened next? There was nothing short of extraordinary. Yato faced her illness with resilience and bravery that most of us can barely fathom, all while choosing to live joyfully. So if you met Yato in the street, you'd never guess the agony is enduring. Not for a single moment would not for a single moment would her smile keep away the pain that consumes her. Whether she was awake or drifting into fitful sleep, even the most mundane tasks, sipping the water, brushing her teeth, taking a bite of food, felt like tortures to her, very torture to Yato, the main character of the eternal Yato. She had a very beautiful and melodious voice, but she couldn't speak a single word. The pen robbed her of that too. Yet when someone looked at her, they can saw a calm, serene face, as if there was nothing wrong with her. And here is the most inspiring part. Even in her darkest moment, her heart was always turned towards others. She compiled books that offer comfort and wisdom to those in need. In her last 4 years, the doctor said Yato only have 2 or 3 months left to live. But under the guidance by our author Xuemo, she lived for more 4 years. Yato lived for more 4 years. Okay. So during her last 4 years, she read the book written by our author Xuemo, and she also taken notes while she was reading. Okay. And she take all the golden sentence together and put it into this book, Exceptional Goodness, added by Yato, written by Chinese author Xuemo. Yeah. So when you read the book, and you can see a lot of golden sentence from the book. Also, you can see a lot of painting drawing by our author Xuemo. So now I'm going to sharing you our author Xuemo's drawing. So there is some kind of engineer, engineering camera. Okay, for the normal picture, for the normal characters, their the numbers is about 1,000, and of when the energy camera take the photos of our Odysseus painting. So do you know how high is the number? It's more than 7,000. Okay, 7,000, more than 7,000. Okay, the number is 7,000. Okay, so you can, when you read the book, exceptional coolness, okay, added by Yato, the main character of Yato. So you can enjoy the painting right here, and also the golden sentence picked up by Yato. Yeah. So let's continue talk about the book. Yato also did countless good things, big and small, just to help people around her. Jato also started a program to send the book into the prison. So it means that the prisoner in China can read our author Shema's book. After this program starts, after this program starts, our author Shema answer a lot of strange form from the prison. Okay, some of them ask share their reading experience or Shema, and some of them are asking the question to our Shema, what is the confusion? What is the confusions of their life? Okay, so the hardship transformed Yato. Okay, the tough period transformed Yato. Once a slumber past young woman, she grows soft and compassionate, someone worthy our deepest respect, a true role model of all us. So what carried Yato through? First, her faith, something that anchored her when the world felt unsteady. But it was the suffering itself that brought her into something stronger. It didn't break her, it refined her, like a fire turning rock into shining metal. This story teaches us a powerful truth. Suffering isn't the enemy. What truly terrifying is giving up when adversity hits. It's letting the hardship push us into retreat instead of leaning into it and growing through it. Think about it. No matter who we are, no matter if we have faith, no matter if we are chasing the big dreams and or taking life one day at a time, suffering and sudden, life altering change will find us. That's just part of being human. But how many of us can face those moments with calm acceptance? So few, right? Those who can face the hardship head on, they often get swept away by the tides of time, leaving no lasting mark. But those who can stand firm, who embrace the struggle and keep going, they become the star of the era, guiding light for others who might be lost in the old storm. Yeah, for some people, the hardship isn't a curse. It's a blessing in disguise. It's a karmic gift that pushes them to dig deeper, to discover strength they never knew they had, and to live a life of greater purpose. I'm here to share you this story, not to make you feel sad, okay? But to remind you whether you are going through something tough right now, or you know someone who is, that courage isn't the absence of fear, it is moving forward. Yeah? Even when you're scared, is choosing kindness even when you are hurting, is letting your struggle shape you, not break you. Yato's story, the main character Yato's story in this book, yeah, isn't just about one woman's fight. It's about what we are all capable of when we are choosing to keep going. 已经很躺枪了，已经躺枪了，是中午吃饭的时候。Okay, hi, you are welcome back. Okay, welcome back. So I'm here to share you this story, not to make you feel sad, but to remind you whether you're going through something tough right now or you know someone who is, that courage isn't the absence of fear. Yeah, it's moving forward even when you're scared. It's choosing kindness even when you're hurting. It's letting your struggle shape you, not break you. Okay, Jato's story isn't just about one woman's fight. It's about what we are all capable of when we choose to keep going. So whatever we are facing today, remember, we are stronger than we think, and sometimes the hardest chapter of our life become the one that defines us in the best way possible. Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome in. Okay. Whether you're here from US, Europe, or South America, I'm so glad you took a minute out of your busy day to hang this in. I'm so glad. Let me start with a question that's gonna be close to home. Yeah. Have you ever had those moments where life feels like it's throwing every bad things at you at once? Like you get a scary doctor's note, or a relationship falls apart, or you just wake up feeling totally hopeless. If that was, if that's ever been you, drop a yes in the chat right now because that's exactly where our main character Yato start in Eternal Love, written by Chinese author Xuemo and her story. And this book and this novel is gonna change how you see pain, how you see love, and even life itself. Yeah. So let me set the scene so you're right here with her. Yato was 20. Yato was a regular woman. She's got people's love, worried about paying bills just like you and me. She was 28 years old, killing it in her career, admired by everyone. Yeah, admired by everyone. He had a very good job, and she also have have her own apartment. Yeah, so but a routine checkup hit her like a jack. Late stage tongue cancer. The doctor said she only had 2 or 3 months left to live. Can you imagine that? Imagine that a girl planning her next promotion. The next, the next, she's starting a death sentence. Her world crashed. She just sat there screaming, why me? Why me? Yeah? Has anyone here ever had a moment where life felt like it punched you in the gut? Where everything you thought was slowly fell apart? If you have typed yes in the chat, Yato's pain is universal. Yeah? Yato, when Yato diagnosed by the doctor that's got a lung cancer, Yato had no idea what to do. She's just sitting in the hospital and cries. She just cried. She's scared of the pain, scared of leaving her family, scared that her whole life was for nothing. That is the dark place this book starts. But I promise you, it's not a dark book. It's a book about it's a book about how life finds you. Hi, Indian. Indian, nice to meet you. Okay, so what are you talking about, my friend? Okay, hi, Indian. Okay. This is Louis from Western China, my friend. I'm here to share you the book. Okay, Chinese fire kung fu. You love the fire kung fu, yeah. So and in our artist Xuemo's teaching, there is some kind of meditation. It's called the fire meditation, the heat meditation, yeah. So there is a story about our artist Xuemo Indian. Okay. So a story about our author Xuemo. You know that Mr. Xuemo is a writer in China, and our author Xuemo's son, he cannot write an article. I mean the cover of the book. Okay, okay, got that. So you mean this book, okay? The Fire Kung Fu. That's the eternal love. The eternal love. Yeah, eternal love. There's a lady. There's a lady. Yeah, there's a lady who got the tongue cancer. The main character of Yato. Yeah, you know that. Okay, let's continue to talk about the main character of this book. Okay, Indian. Have you ever subscribed our channel? If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe our channel. So we are here to share. This channel is dedicated to sharing you the spiritual wisdom and human warmth found in the words of Chinese author Xuemo. Yeah. So Indian. Are you from Indian? Are you from Indian? Yeah. Let's continue to talk about the book. Okay. Mm, yeah. Okay. Unsubscribe. That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Indian, may I have your name, please? May I have your name, please? This is Louis from Western China. I'm here to share you the book written by Chinese author Xuemo. And this is the most touching story written. Yeah, I know you're Indian. Yeah. So, mm, do you love reading? Do you love reading, my friend? Okay, do you love reading? Yeah. So let's continue to talk about the book, okay? Yato, when Yato, the main character, Yato, she diagnosed by the doctor that she got a tongue cancer, and she just cries, okay? And she just scared of the pain, scared of leaving her family, scared that her whole life was for nothing. That is the dark place this puts us. Yeah, the Yato got a tongue cancer. Yeah, yeah, her got cancer. And the doctor said she only have 2 or 3 months left to live. But under the guidance by our author Xuemo, this is our author Xuemo, yeah. Under the guidance by our author Xuemo, she lived for more 4 years. Although her body was in agony, but her mind was peaceful. Yeah. During her last 4 years, you have to read the books uh, written by our author Xuemo. That is the real story. That is the real story. All the story in this book are through the real story. So I also know that lady. Then I know that lady Yato. Actually, and this book is according to two. Is based on two lady, two cancer patients. The number one is called Xing Ying. Another one is Li Xiehua. One of them, Xing Ying, got a tongue cancer. Yeah. So one of my member right here, she took care of the Yato for totally 4 years. Okay, uh, she told us when Yato was eating something, just just taking, just sipping some water. It would took her about half an hour to drink just small cup of water. Yeah. So when the main character Yato eat some porridges, yeah, because her tongue was totally broken. Her tongue was totally broken, and then she cannot eat anything, and she just want to keep living, and then she eat the porridges. So for us, eating porridges is so easy for us. Maybe 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and then one small bowl of the porridges it would took Yato about 2 hours to eat. Yeah. Okay, Yato, when she was trimming, okay, that her tongue's meat, okay, is she can feel some weird in her mouth. Yeah. So can you imagine that her tongue was breathing, and then she eat the porridges, and it took her about 2 hours to eat the things. So adult, her body was in agony, her mind was peaceful. So when Yato eating the porridges, okay, and her face are always calm, serene, and peaceful, as if there was nothing wrong with her. Okay, so that is the main character of Yato. Now I'm going to share you the book. Okay, that is the dark place this book starts. At the very beginning, Yato diagnosed by the doctor that's got tongue cancer. But I promise you, this book is not a dark book. It's a book about how light finds you, even you cannot see it. The book is Eternal Love, written by Chinese author Xuemo and translated by uh, How to Go Black and Silver Returning. Yeah. So look what I've got in my hand. This stunning hardcover of Eternal Love, written by Chinese spiritual writer Xuemo. Just feel the cover. Just feel the cover deep violet with rose gold moon, and the sun, and the stars tangle with the moon. Okay, isn't it breathtaking? Isn't it breathtaking? Yeah, it is like holding a piece of night sky that goes a little light higher than you, and that design is exactly what this book is all about. Yeah, light and dark, life and death, disappear and love, dancing together forever. Let me tell you, this isn't just a book, okay? It's a story that will reach right into your chest, make you feel and really feel. And the story is according to the truest story, yeah? So, Yato, she lived for more 4 years. During her last 4 years, she read the books written by author Xuemo. She also take the notes, and then Yato added one book exceptional chronis, yeah. So Yato put all the golden sentence together and added one book that is written by or added by Yato, yeah. So when you read the golden sentence picking up by Yato, and you can also enjoy the painting enjoying by our author yeah. So Indian, are you still here? So let's continue to talk about the book. So that is a very touching story that you can read. Okay, and now I'm going to share you the good news. You can go to the Amazon to take this book. The printed version of this book is about 50% off. It means that you can get the printed editions of the Eternal Love only about 29 US dollar. And the Kindle ebook of the Eternal Love, it only take you 3 US dollar. Yeah, 3 US dollar. So that is the book, Eternal Love, written by Chinese author Xuemo. Yeah, so let's continue to talk about Yato's story, okay? The first, in this book, you will know that this book uh, is made of the letters, exchange letters between our author Xuemo and Yato. Yeah, Indian, are you still here, my friend? Okay, the first time Yato met our author Xuemo is through the phone. Through the phone. I'm going to share you the story later, okay? So when Yato diagnosed by the doctor that's got a tongue cancer, Yato was just wandering in the street in Guangzhou. Yeah. And she have no idea what to do. She's wandering in the street. And then when Yato take out the phone to check who can share the bad news, Yato found that Yato found that there's nobody that she can share the bad news. She didn't want to share the bad news to her parents because she didn't want to share the bad news to, you know that in China we didn't share the bad news to our parents. We only share the good news to our parents. Yeah, that's what we did. That's what we did. Okay, so and and also it's a saying in Western country, no news is good news. Actually, I don't know. Indian, will you speak to share the bad news to your parent? Yeah. For me, I want to share the bad news to my parents. Even though I just lost my job, even though I just break up with my girlfriend, I didn't share the bad news to my parents. Hi, Austin. Vampire? Okay. No, actually, even though the vampire is cool, but I didn't expect him might to become a vampire. Okay. So to be a human, that is so joyful. Okay. Yeah, Austin. So let's continue to talk about the story. Okay. So Yato just wandering in the street in Guangzhou, and then fortunately, Yato found a book in his handbag, in her handbag, and she take out the book for read. That book was about Bison empathiness. Bison empathiness, also written by Chinese author Xuemo. Yeah, and when Yato take out the book for read, and then this book was sent by a reader when you have to go to join the reading corner. Yeah. So the Beyond Emptiness. Beyond Emptiness also written by our author Xuemo. Yeah. So and then Yato also remember there is a business card of our author Xuemo. She just want to find the business card of our author Xuemo. She just want to phone our author Xuemo as a stranger. And then she checked out the book and she cannot find it. And she just because that reader sent the book to Yato, she said to Yato sincerely, she said whatever if you have some troubles in your life, okay, whatever and whenever you can phone to our author Xuemo. Yeah. And then Yato just check out the business cards of our author Xuemo. And when she read the books, he cannot find the business cards. And then Yato check out his purse and Yato found the business cards of our author Xuemo. And Yato was exciting and she was shaking and she decided to do something crazy. She phoned Mr. Xuemo as a stranger. She phoned Mr. Xuemo as a stranger. That is the first time Yato met uh, connect to our author Xuemo. So when at that period, Yato is in Guangzhou, and Mr. Xuemo was invited to take the lecture in Beijing, and our author Xuemo just finished his lectures, and then when Mr. Xuemo say hello on the other side of the phone, Yato she couldn't stop for crying. She just cried for half an hour. And Mrs. Xuemo, our author Xuemo, just listened for Yato's cry for half an hour. Yeah. So that is the very beginning. Hi. Yeah, everything is a miracle. Yeah, everything is a miracle. Yeah. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? And after half an hour later, yeah, our author Xuemo just listened for Yato's cry for half an hour. Hi, you want to know Xuemo, okay? You want to meet Xuemo, hi, okay? So your name is Sumo, okay? Your name is Sumo, okay? Nice to meet you, Sumo. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So you have to subscribe our channel. Sometimes our author Xuemo will also do the live streams right here. Okay, Stephen Hawking, yeah, that is also a boxer, yeah. Okay, Sumo, nice to meet you. Okay, so Mr. Mr. Sumo, we go to Singapore. Just because our author Sumo was invited to take the lecture in Singapore. Okay, several days later, our author Sumo will go to Singapore to take the lectures. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Let's continue to talk about that. Let's continue to talk about our auto Sumo. Okay, Sumo. Okay, are you still here? Sumo, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe our channel. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe our channel. Yeah. So let's continue to talk about the story, and then after Yato, after half an hour later, Yato stopped crying and Yato was shaking and stuttering, tell everything happened to our author Xuemo. That she got the tongue cancer and the doctor said she only had 2 or 3 months left to live. She was so fear and she was so fear. And our author Xuemo told to Yato, our author didn't say it would be okay, just because Yato was dying, and then that's meaningless to talk. It will be okay. So our author told to Yato, let's use this. Let's use this chance, turn this fear into something else in your life. At that moment, under the guidance by our author under the guidance by our author Yato, um, Yato find transform the fear into the inner balance. She transformed the fear into the inner peace. Yeah. So that's the power of our author Sherman's guidance. Hi. Sumo, are you still here? Sumo. Sumo, are you a Chinese? Okay. Sumo, are you Chinese? Okay. Let's continue to talk about the book. Okay. Let's continue to talk about the book. And then our author Xuemo just so afraid his Gansu dialect accent will misunderstand Mr. Xuem. Have you ever listened about the accent Carmen? Okay, just you just share it for me. Okay, fact. Okay, so let's continue to talk about the story. Okay. Hmm. Our author Xuemo just sent the text message. Okay, Shin-chan, okay? Yeah, a Japanese cartoon. That's so funny. That cartoon is so funny. Yeah, okay. So, and all the Sherman just afraid that his action would misunderstand Yato. So, our author Sherman sent the text message to Yato. The text message is just like that. I'm going to share you our author Sherman's text message to Yato. Yeah. So it's just like this, okay? Replace all your thoughts with a fearful mind and emotion. Action. Okay, got that? Okay. Our autonomous guidance just like that, okay? Replace all your thoughts with a fear mind and emotions. When we pay attention to our fear, we see it empty with no real substance. At times like this, we don't sense external world or ourselves. We just feel a bright openness, which we should maintain without getting attached to it. When that happens, we will experience something dreamlike and illusory. As they, we should enjoy in peace without letting down our guard. While staying in a supplicating mindset to listen to the voice deep in our mind as we let go of our attachment and longing for the mental world. We need to know that our inherent wisdom, which one with the great thought, is smiling brightly at us. Such realization means to comprehend the truth and to see nature in its original appearance as little by little. We enter the hall of the truth. So for now, stay with the sensation and let it become a life habit of ours so we can abide in a brilliant and illusory state, being alert, living naturally without any affectation. Like it is like total relaxation under winter sun to enjoy the warm sunlight. Let us enter the dreamy, illusory state and move away from all games in the world so we can be in an empty inferior condition before we enhancing our watchfulness to take in our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. When we have when we then we will have a heightened sense of brilliance and emptiness, which is hard to express in words. It's beyond the ability of our narrative to convey and describe. Just listen to the sounds of the empty mind. Okay? It is akin to a deaf person listening to the sounds. Be listen, but won't be controlled by the sound. It is also resemble a blind person looking. Our eyes see, but none of false images of the external world can enter our mind. It is like a tear express. We taste something real that can be detached normally. At times like these, we are not attend to the external world, but our mind are open and clear as we can savor all the meaning of life while they remain spotless and unaffected as a mirror. So that is our autonomous guidance to Yato, how to transform the fear into the inner balance. Okay, at such moment, Yato just got the enlightenment wisdom. Okay, enlightenment wisdom through our autonomous guidance. Yeah, that's the power of this book. So you can find a lot of guidance in this book. Yeah, and then our Sumo, okay, are you still here? So when our author Xuemo met Yato, so our author Xuemo, the first time they met each other is in Dongguan, okay? Mr. Xuemo has a Zen heart in Dongguan, okay? So Yato, when she got the enlightenment wisdom from our author's guardian, she come to visit our author Xuemo, okay, in the Zen hall, 樟木头 Dongguan, Guangdong, okay? Yeah. So, and then this book, through the letters, 34 of the letters, which make up this book, and something has changed. Yato, mm, before that, Yato, our author Xuemo didn't give Yato medical advice, and also, but our author Xuemo give Yato the spiritual medicines. Yeah, our author Xuemo asks her to look inside at the anger, the resentment, the roots that carry since childhood. So when you read the book, you will know that Yato grew up with a super strict dad, and her dad's rules made Yato rebellious, made Yato feel unloved and trapped. She hated her dad for it, blamed her mom for being quiet, and pushed anyone away. Then the illness came and made all those old hurts burn even hotter. So just because her dad was so strict, Yato feel unloved in her families. And Yato, after she graduated from university, Yato just get married as soon as possible. She just want to live escape the nightmare. But Yato escaped from her family. She just escaped from one nightmare to another. Do you know that? So that is a tragic person in this book, Eternal Love. But also Yato was lucky. So adult the life is suffering in his life. Yeah. Adult Yato was suffering in his life and she can find a very, very good teacher. That is our author Xuemo. And then he also can got the guidance by our author Xuemo. Okay, under the guidance by our author Xuemo, Yato got the transcendental wisdom written. Okay, so that is said that a lot of people say that Yato was lucky, and then Yato was was so is a tragic character, but Yato is also she was very lucky. Yeah, a lot of people go to see find a lot of teachers they cannot find a real teachers. They cannot find a real enlightenment teachers. Okay, but Yato was lucky. Yeah, so and then when Yato escaped from her family and get married to a man. Why do I say that Yato just escaped from one nightmare to another nightmare? Why? So when Yato get married, her husband, her fourth husband, just another father of Yato. Yeah. Mm, Yato's husband was always checking Yato's phone. Okay. If there is a strange phone call in Yato's telephone, and her husband will call back. So if if on the other side is a man's phone call, Yato she will be beaten by her husband. And then what's the that this isn't the worst. The worst is that Yato's husband Yato, betrayed Yato. He remarried to another lady. Yeah, that made Yato feel so hurt. Okay, that made me feel Yato so hurt. So after that, Yato just go to the bar to drink the alcohol and got drunk and take a cigarette and eat some garbage foods, just like the barbecue and that's just something like that. Okay, so then the illness come. Then the illness come. Through the letters after Yato connected to our author Xuemo, yeah, she got a lot of spiritual medicines from our author Xuemo. Through the letters, through the exchange letter, 34 of the exchange letters, which made up this book, something has changed. Yato started to see her dad not as a monster, but as a man who loved in his own messy, imperfect way. Her dad's journeys, it was fear of Yato getting hurt, fear of falling Yato, and her mother's silence, not weakness, but a quiet strength. When Yato softened her heart, her whole world warmed up. That is the magic here. All sufferings starts in the mind, so the cure does too. It's not about fixing the outside, it's about healing the inside. Think about your own pain. Think about your own pain. Is it the event itself that hurts, or the story you tell yourself about it? You have to learn that what truly hurt us is the gap between what we expect and what happens. Drop a yes in the comments if you ever been hurt more than by your own why me than the things itself. Yeah. Hi, would you like to drink some water? This is Louis from Western China. I'm here to sharing the book written by Chinese author Xuemo. So, hi, Timothy. Nice to meet you, Timothy. How's anything? Okay, long. Okay, I'm so glad to see you again, Timothy. Okay, okay, Timothy. So you're from Australia, yeah? I remember you. I remember you. Yeah, my friend. Okay, nice to meet you. Okay, I'm so glad to see you again. How's anything, Timothy? Yeah. So let's continue talk about the book. Okay, let's continue talk about the book. So Yato's transformation. The main character of Yato, a tongue cancer patient, and the doctor says he only have 2 or 3 months left to live. Yeah. Okay. So let's continue to talk about the story. Okay. Yato's transformation is done with the forgiveness. Yeah. And not that I will say sorry but still hold a grudge kind. It is a real deep forgiveness. Yato wrote her dad a letter telling him that she understood that she loved him. And do you know what happens? Yato's panic faded, even her sleep got better, even her pain felt more bearable. forgiveness didn't change her dad, it changed Yato herself. It freed her from carrying the heavy anger around. Yeah. The main character of Yato, she got a tongue cancer, and the doctor says she only have 2 or 3 months left to live. But under the guidance by our author Xuemo, she lived for more 4 years. Yeah. And though her body was in agony, but her mind was peaceful. Yeah. This book slams down the line that forgiveness is letting someone off the hook. Actually, it's letting all ourselves off the hook. Yato's story shows that holding on resentment, it is like to drinking the poison and waiting for the people to die. It only hurts ourselves. Okay? So have you ever carrying a grudge that weighing you down? Yeah, maybe it is a parent, a friend, and even yourself. And this book will give us the courage to let it go. Yeah. So the doctor said Yato she only have 2 or 3 months left to live. But Yato lived for more 4 years, not just surviving, not just thriving. Yato meditated. She got the guidance by our author Xuemo. She meditated. She practiced compassion. She even made a vow in the morning. Every morning, she made a vow. May I take on the suffering of all who are ill. So love matches the world's coldness. Can you imagine that? Okay, can you imagine that as a dying lady? She do the meditation just like that. She made her body a chopping into a very small piece, and 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 her body and the piece of her body just feed all the starving sentient beings all over the world. That this is the English editions, okay? Timothy. Okay, this book was translated by Holt Goblet and Siborich Lin. Yeah. So can you imagine that when Yato's body was in agony, her mind was peaceful. She also visited other cancer patients in the hospital and listened to their fear and shared her hope. Compare that to Yato's cousin. Yato's cousin also got the cancer. Her cousin got the stomach cancer and was so scared, and he jumped off a building and committed suicide. Two people, same diagnosis, totally different ending. Why? Just because the main character of Yato, she didn't find death. She found freedom in death. She learned that the greatest miracle isn't living longer, it's living with a heart that is awake. That is the book's big lessons here. Life isn't measured in years, it measures in the moment of love, gratitude, and courage. Yeah. So many of us are waiting for someday to live. Someday when we are richer, someday when we are less busy, someday when we are perfect. Yato say no, live now. Yeah, that is the true story. It's according to the true story. So the Yato, the main character Yato, one of my friend, she took care of Yato for more than 4 years. Yeah. So when she read the books, she also feel that Yato just aside her and sharing him the stories. So as a tongue cancer patient, her tongue was totally broken. Her tongue was totally broken. Yeah. She have a very beautiful and melodious voice, but she cannot speak a single word. Okay. When she was eating something, when she was biting something, just like the tortures for her. Yeah. And can you imagine that when she eat some porridges, it will took her 2 hours. And sometimes when you read a book, you will know that. And sometimes when she was eating something, okay, he can feel something weird in her mouth. Yeah, that is the broken meat. That's the broken meat of her tongue. Okay, so that is Yato. But Whenever we saw of Yato's face, we can always saw a calm, serene, and peaceful face of Yato, as if there's nothing wrong with her. Yeah, as if there's nothing wrong with her. Yeah. So Yato said, okay, live now. Don't wait for someday to live. Just live now. The books on your hand for reading, the songs on your face, a cup of good tea, the heart from someone you love, those are the moments that matters. And this book will make you put down your phone tonight and tell the people you care about how much they mean to you. I guarantee it. Yeah. So your worst day isn't the end, it's the new beginning. Yeah. It's a new beginning. Yeah. So our author Xuemo, okay, the first big truth this Muslim home. Here is the first big truth this Muslim home. Adversity isn't here to break you, it's here to wake you up. Yato's first move after that diagnosis, she picked up a phone and phoned to our author Xuemo. Yeah. As a stranger, she phoned our author, she called our author Xuemo as a stranger. And then she cried for half an hour to our author Xuemo. And our author Xuemo just told Yato, use this chance to turn this fear into something that teach you. Okay, Timothy. Actually, Mr. Sherman is my teacher. Yeah. So I now I work in Sherman Academy in Gansu Province. Yeah. I work in Sherman Academy in Gansu Province. Our author Sherman's hometown right here. Okay. Yeah. So the first time I met our author Sherman is in 2019, 7 years ago in Hong Kong. Okay, when I go to join the Hong Kong, when I go to buy a book in Hong Kong book fair, so I met our author Xuemo. Yeah. So actually, I start to read our author Xuemo's book uh, from 2017. From 2017. Okay, Timothy. Yeah. Yeah. So our author said, let's turn this fear into something that teaches you who you really are. That's game changing, right? So many of us, yeah, Yuma, nice to meet you, Yuma. Okay, that's game changing, right? So many of us think when the bad things happen, we are just victims, but Yato learns slowly, painfully, but surely that her cancer wasn't a death sentence for her spirit. It was a chance to stop running from her life and start living it. Yato started writing down every thought, every memory, everything she's grateful for. She also reconnected with her sister. Uh, yeah, we use the same phone to do the live stream. Yeah, Austin. Uh, So that is according what do you mean? In my opinion, Austin, I thought that is our author Xuemo, yeah, and also another man is called and some people we said that is about the Taoism Lao Tzu Lao Tzu, okay, Lao Tzu. Some people will say is Lao Tzu, okay, and some people will also call about the in the Zen master, okay, the sixth master of the Zen, okay. So, okay, humor. Is there some kind of audible problems when I was do the live stream? Yeah. Okay. Let's continue talk about the book. Okay. Let's continue talk about the book. So Yato learned that slowly that the cancer was a death sentence for her spirit. It was a chance to stop running from her life and start living it. Yato start writing down every thought, every memory, everything he's grateful for. Can you imagine that Yato she reconnect with her sister that she hadn't spoken to in years? And Yato even start visiting other cancer patients in the hospital just to listen, yeah? So let's talk about the heart of this book, connection. Yato wasn't surrounded by a huge support system. Yeah. So when Yato got the tongue cancer, okay, that's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Okay. So that's great. Okay. I'm so happy to hear about that. Okay. Yato wasn't surrounded by a huge support system. Yato only have a few people, but most of the time, Yato felt alone. But that one call to our author Xuemo, it turned into a years-long correspondence. That one connection changed everything. Okay, Yato's letters, the letters between our author Xuemo and Yato, the letters are not fancy. Yato writes about throwing up at chemo and how much he hated hospital food. Mr. Schumer writes back about his own struggle, about times he felt like giving up on his writing. Can you imagine that? As a writer, Mr. Schumer writes more than 80 titles in 300 editions. Our author Schumer also had a tough periods in his writing career. Yeah. Okay. When our author Schumer writing The Desert Rise, this book, this book took our author Xuemo totally 12 years to write this book. And during the first 5 years, Mr. Xuemo cannot write a single word. He just standing in the table, in front of the table, and taking a pen in his hand and put the pen on the notebook. He cannot write a single word. Yeah. So he almost give up on his writing. He almost give up on his writing. Yeah. And then our autism just continued to waiting for the with his enlightenment wisdom to become active. Yeah. So our autism he wake up, okay, see you later, okay. Timothy, see you later, okay. Have a nice day. Have a nice day, okay. So can you imagine that when our autism write this book, our autism just wake up 3 a.m. and until and he start working from 3 a.m. to 10 p.m. But Mr. Sherman cannot write a single word. He just sitting in front of the table and he cannot write a single word. So that's the tough period of autism's life. Yeah. And our author Sherman also give Yato the guidance, give some guidance to Yato when she do the act, when she was doing the chemo. So there's another mind changing about our autism give the guidance to Yato. Okay, it's just like that. So our autism told to Yato, just accept anything happen to you. Okay, so when Yato was doing the chemo, okay, our autism will give her the guidance like that. You just take the meditation, take the meditation. You just imagine that all the good energies, all the positive energies just nourish your body. Yeah. So and you just imagine that there is mm, some kind of Buddha and some kind of the God just shining through the chemo machine into your body. Yeah. So just shining to her body, and then Yato, Yato, she will find that just follow Oracham's guidance, and then Yato you find another way of the chemo. So the first time, Yato was exhausted, and the doctor and the nurse just put Yato into the wheelchair and push her out of the chemo room. And the second time, Yato take the guidance by our orchestra. She just enjoy the chemo. Okay, she just imagine all the good energies, all the positive energies just go into her body, and nourish her body and take the recovery of her body. Do you know? And do you know what happens? And do you know what happens? And do you know what happens? Okay. So Yato just walk out of the kimono room as normal people, and then she go to take a reading corner after the kimono. Yeah, that is the mind changing. That's the mind changing. Yeah, when the bad things happen to us, we just think about the good way of the bad things. Yeah. So that is our author Shima said that all the peoples are the Buddhas in her life. Even though the peoples are making a lot of obstacle to our author Shima. So you know that when our hi, hello, hi, my friend, hello, nice to meet you. Yeah, this is Louis from Western China. Okay. So even new here, don't forget to subscribe our channel. Okay, my friend, hello. Yeah. Okay, so when the bad things happen to us, you just think that there is a chance for us to make another big progress. So when our autism was primary school, when a Chinese teacher in the middle school, yeah, and our autism, he didn't want to take so much time to working in the office, and then, but the principals of the primary school asked Mr. Sherman he had to go to the office for working. Okay, and our audition said there was no rule for the teacher. They have to work in the office. So our audition just pay back to the principal to buy the times to do the meditation, to do his writing and do his reading. Yeah, and also Mr. Sherman, another good thing, another important practice in our audition's life is the kung fu. Yeah. So can you imagine that Mr. Sherman become a Chinese teacher in middle school at the age of 19? At the age of 19, yeah, at the age of 19, and our autism as a 19 years old boy, he was always sleepy. But how our Artemis can insist on to wake up at 3 a.m. Yeah, our Artemis by a clock, but the clock doesn't work, and our Artemis will drink a lot of water just to make him go uh, to go to the toilet in the morning. Yeah, during even though our audition are drinking so much water before bed, so in his dream, our Artemis was going to find the toilet, going to find the toilet in his dream. Can you imagine that? And also, our Artemis find the toilet, find anywhere, and he cannot find it. And then our Artemis so, and wake up. Yeah. So that is a yeah. Okay. Hi. Lord God, nice to meet you, Lord God. Okay, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe our channel. So that is the method Mr. Simmons used to make him wake up in the morning, 3 a.m. And then and then when our author Simmons start his meditation, he also sleeping. He also sleepy. So what does this writer do? Okay, and he go to play the kung fu, and he go to play the kung fu, yeah, and also and also when musician was 19 years old, yeah, he just want to make him different from all the ordinary people to the normal people, yeah. Okay, Lord God, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe our channel. This channel is dedicated to sharing you the spiritual wisdom and human warmth found in the words of Chinese author Xuemo. Yeah. So let's continue to talk about the story. Okay. Mm, so this kind of writer, he just want to give up on his writing. Can you imagine that? Just because he cannot write a single character during 5 years. Yeah. And then our authorship also give Yato's guidance just like that. Okay, what is the one thing you will always want to do but were too scared? Who is the person you regret not saying I love you to? Okay, and this book teaches us that love. isn't about how many followers you have or how many family members are around. It's about one person who sees you, really sees you. Mr. Sherman didn't fix Yato's cancer, and our autism didn't wave a magic wand, just like Harry Potter. Yeah, our autism just listened. He validated her fear. He told her, "Your pain matter, your life matter, and that's enough." And so many of us walk around feeling invisible, like no one gets what we are going through. But Yato's story proved that one real conversation, one person who shows up, is all it takes to feel human again. Think about that person in your life. Maybe it's a friend, a teacher, even a stranger who said the right things at you at right times. Tell them right now if they're watching. Let them know they saved you too. Lord God, are you still here? Lord God, have you ever subscribed our channel? If you don't, just please subscribe our channel for more updates and for more wisdom books written by Chinese author Xuemo. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Lord God. Okay. Have you ever subscribed our channel? Okay. Let's continue to talk about another story in this book. Actually, Actually, according to our autism's guardian, Yato fixed her cancer at the very beginning. And Yato was so happy and and she just come back to work again. And then the cancer come back again. So the way our autism told to Yato is some kind of standing meditations. So a lot of people just to let their body recover by the standing meditation, by the standing meditation. The standing meditation is the only way can make us to recover our body. Okay, but Bayato, Bayato, do you know that? Bayato, when she feel that her body was recovered, and then she go back to work because he can earn about 20,000 RMBs per month. Okay, 20,000 RMB per month. Yeah. So she come back to work, and then the illness come back again. Yeah. So our author was always said. So a lot of people change their destiny through our author book. First, change their mind and then take actions. When they take actions, that is the first step to change their destiny. But but you have to take the actions, become the way of your life, and then your destiny it will be changed by through reading our autism's book. So it's very difficult for people to change their destiny. So our autism someday he told to me. So he found that some people can change their destiny. That is also written in the star. Yeah. So that's also written in the star. And then in some people that cannot change their destiny, that is also written in the star. So 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 do you know what I mean there? Mm, let's continue to talk about the book, okay? So let's get real for a second. Yato was terrified. Yato write about laying awake at 3 a.m. Yeah, you believe so? Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, Root God, have you ever read a book written by Chinese author Xuemo? Have you ever read a book? Yeah. So, no, never. So you can try one book, okay? What kind of book will you prefer? Literature or culture? Our author Xuemo's book, uh, mostly is a self-help book. Yeah. Okay. So, so do you prefer listening? Do you prefer listening? Yeah, there's also some audio book. Yeah, and there is a meditation course. Okay, in on the internet. Okay, from our autonomous culture. Okay, some kind of meditation course. Yeah, it's through our autonomous guardian. Yeah. So let's continue to talk about the book. Okay, it's okay. Ludger actually. Uh, at the very beginning, I didn't love reading. I didn't love reading. Yeah. After I graduated from university, mm, I didn't read for a long time until one of my friends she sent me the book for me. She sent the book for me. Yeah. And then she's my teacher's wife. She's my another teacher's wife. And she sent a book for me. Okay. So every time when I go to my teacher's house, okay, the madam will ask me, "Hey, Louis, have you ever read a book?" Every times I say I'm so embarrassed. I said, yeah. So and she will continue to ask me, so how many page have you read? I said, just some page, just some page. Yeah, and then and then my and then the madam also told to me, okay, so I know that you didn't read the book, okay, and she yeah, and she asked me for about 4 or 5 times, and I didn't start reading the books, okay, and I didn't start reading the books, yeah, and then she decided to take a reading corner together with me and my teacher and also with my wife together, 4 people to take a reading corner. So at the first half years, okay, only 4 of us read one book by one book written by our author Xuemo. And then some of my friends join our reading corner. So before I left the reading corner in the years of 2020, in the years of 2020. So, and the members in our reading corner is about 50 members. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Okay, search scarf. Nice to meet you. Okay, search scarf. Yeah, I'm so happy you're here with me today. Scarf. Okay, search scarf. Okay. Okay, this is Louis from Western China. May I know your name, please? Search scarf. Okay, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe our channel. Yeah, but after we read the books, okay, after we read the books of our author channel, we fell in love with our author channel's writing. Yeah, we fell in love with our autism's writing. And our autism's book is full of the enlightenment wisdom and the human warmth and the spiritual wisdom. Yeah. So that made us feel joy. Yeah. And find the clarity through our autism's reading. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Search scarf. Search scarf. Yeah. So, and there is a saying in Western country. So, okay, they said the heaven must similar, the heaven must just like the library. Yeah, yeah. So let's continue to talk about the book. Okay, let's continue to talk about the book Eternal Love. Okay, Root God. So I suggest you to take a Kindle ebook for reading. Yeah, you just try a small book. Yeah, a small book. For example, this book is about a small book. Okay, reclaim the throne of your heart. Reclaim the throne of your heart. And this book only, and you can read some as it's just like the essay prose. Okay, essay, the Chinese essay. Okay, and this book is also the English Elephants. The English Elephants is translated by Dr. Yotasuo Kuma and the professor of Bath University from UK. Yeah. So let's continue to talk about the book. Okay, Yato was terrified. She writes about laying awake at 3 a.m. A tongue cancer patient lay awake at 3 a.m. sweating because she is so scared of the pain. Okay, she couldn't sleep because of the pain, the panics. Yeah. Yato writes about panicking when she cannot swallow food, thinking this is it. This is how it ends. But here is the first, but here is the trick our author Xuemo teach her. It is something that you can use today. No matter what you're scared of, notice the fear, but don't let it talk. Our author Sherman tells her, when the fear comes, say, I see you, then ask yourself, what do I need right now? For Yato, sometimes it was just getting up and making a cup of her favorite tea. Sometimes just reading a book written by our author Sherman. Yeah, sometimes it was just calling her niece to listening to her talk about school. Sometimes it was just sitting by the window and watching the birds outside. Yeah, Yato, the main character of the Eternal Love, she didn't find the fear. She didn't find the fear. Yeah, she let the fear be there, but she didn't let the fear control her actions. Yeah, that's courageous, guys. Not the absence of fear, the ability of the ability to move forward even when it's screaming at you. Yeah, that's not the absence of the fear. Yeah, the ability to move forward even in it's screaming at you. So, hi, my friends. True, yeah, that's the true story. Yeah, you're right. I want you to try this right now. Think of one thing you're scared of. Maybe it's a work deadline, a doctor's appointment, telling someone how you feel. Yeah. So you can say to yourself, I see you next to that fear. Just acknowledging it takes its power away. And that is the gift that will give us. She shows us we are stronger than our scariest feeling. We are stronger than our scariest feeling. Yeah. So the life's value isn't in length, it's in depth. Here is the biggest lessons in this book, and this and it's gonna make you put on your phone and hug someone when we are done. Yato didn't beat the cancer. She lived with the cancer and eventually she passed away. But that's not the point of her story. The point is, in those last years, Yato lived more fully than most people do in the 80s. Yeah, Yato stopped worrying about what people thought of her. She told her mom that she loved her every single day. Yato wrote a letter to her younger self, forgiving her for all the mistakes she had made. She even started a little garden on her balcony, growing tomatoes and basils just because Yato wanted to watch something grow. Yeah, Yato writes in one of his last letters. I used to measure my life by how many years I could live. Now I measure it by how many moments I've loved. That is the magic of this book. It doesn't sell you a fairy tale where everything works out. It says you the truth that a short life lived with love is worth 100 long life lived in fear. But how many of us are waiting for someday to start living? Yeah, someday when we have more money, someday when we are less busy, someday when we are perfect. The story in this book, Yato's story, say stop waiting, my friend. The perfect moment is right now. The books on your hand for reading, this cup of coffee, this chat with a friend, this chance to say I'm sorry or I love you or I love you. Yeah. So raise your hand, my friend. If you're gonna do one thing that matters, call that person, take that walk, forgive that mistake, I see you. That is what this book is all about. Yeah. So the title of Eternal Love, let's break that down, okay? This isn't about romantic love. Yeah, actually, actually, now the best time is now. Yeah, the best time is now. Yeah, the best time playing the trees was 20 years ago, and the second best time. Actually, I think the best time is now. Okay, that's not late for us to do something. Okay, so just start to do right now. So you know that our auditioners we forgot anything, and when our auditioner got an idea to do something, when he decided to do something, he will do from now on. Okay, from now on. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Okay, Lord God. Lord God, may I know your name, please? The best time? Good. Good, nice to meet you, okay? Okay. Fin Finley, okay? Finley, yeah? Finley, yeah? Nice to meet you, Finley, okay? I just broke up and I need to come along, okay? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Anything will let go. Anything it will let go, okay? So let's continue talk about the book, okay? Yeah. So this book isn't about romantic love, though it has a lot of touching story, okay? It's about a touching story. It's about the kind of love that stick around long after someone's gone. When Yato passed away, when the main character Yato passed away, yeah, our author Xuemo took their letters and turned them into this book, Eternal Love. Our author Xuemo just want her story to help others. Yeah. So Yato's friends start a support group for the cancer patient in her name. And Yato's niece plant tomatoes every year in her honor. That is eternal. That's eternal. Yeah. Yato writes, I used to think love was about staying. Now I know it's about living peace of yourself with anyone you meet. That is the truth. Love isn't holding someone's hand. It's the way you make them feel seen. Okay? The way you inspire them to be better. The way your memory, okay, is okay. Okay? The way your memory made them smile even when you're not there. When you love deeply, okay, deal on road now, okay? Deal on road. When you love deeply, you don't disappear. You become part of people you love. That is why this book is so powerful. Yeah. It is not just Yato's story, okay? It's a reminder that we all have the power to leave a mark, no matter how much time we have. Yeah. So let's continue to talk about the book, okay? The translation. Yeah. This book was translated by Holt Goblet and Sibyl Lin. Have you ever read a book written by Mo Yan, another Chinese writer? Okay, and the Nobel Prize winning author Mo Yan. And his book was translated by Holt Goblet and Sibyl Lin. And this book is also translated by Holt Goblet and Sibyl Lin. Yeah. So, and Holt Goblet, and he is about 19 years old. And then he just translated our author Shamus book more than 10 books. Yeah, more than 10 books. Yeah. So, and then the book in this, the translation of this book are so smooth and so heartfelt. It's just like Yato is talking directly to you, sitting along with you and sharing her story. Yeah. So one of my friend, she is a teacher in the university. Okay, and then she cannot read the Chinese edition. Can you imagine that? She cannot read the Chinese editions, but she can read the English editions of the Eternal Love. Yeah. When she read the English elephants, he said, "Oh, that book is so touching. So I love to read that." When she read the Chinese elephant, said, "Oh, it's so boring. I cannot read it." Yeah. So that's the power of the translation by Hold Global and Spiritual Being. Yeah. Hi, viewer. Okay, thank you so much for accompanying with me. Okay, thank you so much for accompanying with me. Okay, I have to go. I have to go. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe our channel. This is Louis from Western China. I'm so happy you're here with me today. Okay, have a nice day. Goodbye. Have a nice day. See you. Have a nice day. Lord God, dude on road. Nice to meet you. Goodbye. Have a nice day.